guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called Change Opinions of the Dutch About Poland, and this is from a channel called The Writing Traveler, so check that out. And I don't know, do Dutch people have strong opinions about Polish or Poland in general? I guess we'll find out, so let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe.
So the weather has been like this for a few days now in Krakow. That's why I'm also sharing some videos from earlier, because it's not really exploring weather. Today I wanted to share something that's also really interesting for me, because 2 years ago, maybe even more, it was with Christmas, I think 2021, I shared for the first time like a little Q&A about why I feel so at home in Poland, and what the Dutch people thought when I had the plan to go to Poland.
Well, great.
And how I changed their opinions, and I think it's really interesting to share this with you, so enjoy. I am curious about what you think. So I'm in the Netherlands right now, you know that now, for a few days, and I really miss Poland. Every time I see a photo or a video or your comments, I'm like, I miss it so much, Tom. Yeah, it's a little bit of homesickness. And everyone I meet, they're like, my dad even said, hey, there's my Polish girl, Tommy.
That's cute.
A few questions were about my family, so I will start with those. So one of you asked if I have siblings, and yes, I have. I have an older sister, she's 1 year older than me, and I have a younger brother. And they both live here in the north of the Netherlands. And they both have families, so yeah, I'm a very proud auntie, and that's the hardest thing about the traveling and the moving, probably, because I'm not close to them. But so
leave your family
question
behind.
About my family.
Good news is though, she's quite close to them.
Was
Close geographically, not close as in personally.
what
Only
did
a
they
train
say
ride.
when I said that I want to stay in Poland or want to go back and even want to move there? And they find it hard. It's hard for them, a little bit hard, because you know we have a really deep connection, and then I'm not in the Netherlands anymore, not close. But I already told them like there's a very good airplane connection between the Netherlands and Poland.
Oh, it's airplanes, not trains.
I can always visit them sometimes during the year, and they can also always visit me.
Yeah, of course.
I
During the
still
long
have
weekend.
to convince them to come. I have to.
What do you need
I want to
convincing
show them
them?
the beautiful country. My mom does understand. She understands it a lot, and of course they try to understand. I think they will fully understand if I can show them where I live right now, so the country and the city, and because then they can feel, you know, maybe a little bit of what I'm feeling, and they can experience a little bit of what I'm feeling. Sit, and then it will be different, I think. So I can't wait to get them to Poland so I can show them, because it's all about the feelings. When you feel it yourself, then you understand it more, I think. How long are you planning to stay in Poland? Well,
Forever?
For a long time, I think. My plan was to travel from country to country and just stay in Poland for 2 months, 2.5 months. Yeah, that didn't go.
Oh, it was love at first sight?
Because I fell in love with the country. I left Poland, but I missed it so much that I came back. And now I want to stay and just travel from here, from Poland. I want to travel from Poland to different places, because I'm still
your home base.
a traveler in my heart. Yeah, I really am. I'm an explorer. I want to experience different places. But now I want to have Poland as my home base and then travel from there to different countries. But I am so happy in Krakow and Poland that
What's
I
Krakow?
can easily say that I...
Was that the city that was rebuilt or the other one? It's in Warsaw or Krakow. I always get them confused.
I'm totally fine with staying in Poland for the rest of my life.
Forever home.
Yeah, so
that's lovely,
now,
actually.
This is my dream, what I'm doing right now with you, connecting with people from all over the world, and feeling home in in a different country than where I was born, and just experiencing it fully. And so I will capture just everything in Poland, and when I do my travels, when I come back to the Netherlands sometimes, because I feel like we can connect and inspire and just share our love with each other, you know. And that's also why I want to write books, maybe some tales of Poland, and hopefully in Polish as well. So
What a hard language to learn.
yeah, so the biggest difference between Poland and the Netherlands, I think I already did stuff like that in one of my videos about gratefulness, and that the level of gratefulness and gratitude is much higher in Poland than in the Netherlands.
The lack of gratitude? Did I got that right?
Gratefulness and gratitude is much higher in Poland
Oh,
than
it's
in
the
the
opposite.
Netherlands, and that it's way more relaxed in Poland.
Okay, so they're more grateful in Poland, if I got that right.
I think people are more relaxed, and there's way more faith and belief in Poland than in the Netherlands. I have been raised with the church.
Oh,
But we
really?
also prayed as children. My mom also sang songs about Jesus to us before we went to sleep, and before every meal, and we prayed. And I was going to
Is that normal for the Netherlands, or is this very specific to her family?
the church with my grandma. But when we got older, and my mom went through a lot of difficult stuff in her life, so at one point we stopped a little bit with the praying, and I have a feeling that I still kept that gratitude and that pure love going on inside of me, and
That's
that really
good.
being conscious about being thankful. And as a kid I already knew that there's more than what we see with our eyes, let me say it like that way. I think that's especially why Poland is so special for me, because I've never felt it like that before. Then I was in Poland, the spiritual way of living.
And that sense of
It's
belonging.
like the same as the faith you all have going on, and the gratitude. And I've never felt it so consciously, like the awareness that there's something bigger, something more. I just feel that when I'm in Poland. I think I'm going to cry when I arrive back, because
Oh,
I feel it right now when I'm talking about Poland. And it's like I have goosebumps all over my body, and I feel the warmth here. That was also a question, why do you like Poland so much? I think I answered it right now. It's a total package, I think.
she just
For
feels
the
good
feeling
there.
that I explained just now, and but also the people I've met, really kind people in Poland, and it's just so beautiful as well. I think Poland has everything.
It is very pretty.
It has wonderful cities, even though I haven't seen them all yet. It's the
There will be
spirit
time.
of Poland, I think, what I love the most. Because you also have like amazing nature, like the mountains and the forests.
Actually, coming from someone in the Netherlands, which I think is quite flat, then it must be marvelous to check out mountains. Wow, look at those mountains. We don't have that back at home.
And the lakes, and even the seaside with amazing sand dunes, and you just have everything, and you have like all the seasons. I love all the seasons.
Wait,
Poland
doesn't
has all the seasons.
the Netherlands doesn't have seasons? What? Oh, because it's raining all the time? Is that it? I have no idea. I thought they had all
So the
seasons.
last question, I think I got that one the most, is about what Dutch people think about Poland. So I'm going to be very honest with you right now.
Oh my God, Dutch
I don't
honesty.
get any hate from it, or my family, or so. I didn't know anything about Poland, so
Okay.
I just knew inside of me that I had to go, that it was the perfect step, and I didn't do any research because I didn't have any time. So I just went with my open mind and open heart, like I
But
always
blind.
have.
That's
But my
crazy.
family's first reactions were not really positive. because a lot of them were like,
Why?
no, why Poland? Why are you going to Poland? Because I think in general Dutch people have like judgments about Poland, and Polish people maybe.
Oh, really?
And I don't know why. Maybe because in the news sometimes it's about
Bad things.
Polish drivers in the Netherlands that are like in accidents, or you know, it's like the negative side will appear in the news. And
Well, I think a lot of the news are just negative by nature. It's hardly you get to see, a positive news on, on the news channel.
I don't know really why people have those opinions. Maybe because one person maybe has like a negative experience with one Polish person in the Netherlands, and then he's talking to his family and friends, and then everyone just
Yeah, sure. Came off the telephone.
takes it for the truth. And I will be never like that. So, the most of the people were, why are you going to Poland, and what are you going to do there? And there were even some people who were like, do you really know the family you are going to? Are you sure that it's like
Not a
the people
scam?
they say they are? Yeah. So I didn't share those opinions. I just was like, I feel it, So
I have to see for
I'm
myself.
just going, you can't stop me. And then I went to Poland and I shared my story, I shared all the videos, I shared the photos, and I blew everyone's mind away. No, I didn't, Poland did.
They weren't
Because I
expecting
just
it.
was capturing Poland and what I was experiencing there. And everyone, literally everyone, changed their opinion because I shared it. Because I shared my story and your story of Poland, and your beauty and your amazing, amazing nature, amazing places, amazing people. I just shared it, and they've all changed their opinion. And even everyone now is like, we want to visit Poland next year. Literally everyone, even people I don't know personally, are messaging me like, I didn't know Poland was so beautiful.
Now I want to
I
go.
want to come now.
Yeah.
So I know, and my Polish mommy from the au pair family even calls me like the Polish, how did you say it? I don't know the word anymore, but for the Netherlands, I'm like the Dutch girl in Poland who is like now showing the Dutch people, this is Poland.
The real deal.
Forget everything you know about Poland. You think you know about Poland. Forget everything. Forget
This is the
every
thing.
opinion you have. I will show you. I will explore a lot of Poland in 2022. I have a really long list. Next videos about what do I think now about what I said then. Where did I travel to all over Poland after that? Some more exploring. And what are my plans for 2024? Bye.
Well, I think I think she mentioned something that I think is very interesting, and I think that could be applied to, I think, a lot of situations, and even just a lot of countries and a lot of situations in life, which was that she, whatever you feel about a country, a situation, or just something that is sort of foreign to you because you haven't lived it, it's, you get you kind of know how things are just because, again, you've read about it, because in the news it has said so, or, I knew someone that, told me once that the things were like this and like that, and that was their experience. Or again, well, because I read it online, I read it on the internet, and, this, and, you think a certain situation goes a certain way, or a country is, in this way. And then you start to form an opinion, right? Because that's just, how humans work, and that's how your mind's gonna work. You just create an opinion because, it's based on what, again, other people have told me, or what I've read, or what I've absorbed, throughout the years through, just living your life. But then, you maybe again, that little bias, and of course it's a bias, it happens to everyone. And it's only, the natural progression of things. But, you're biased and you think that maybe things are in a certain way and you think, oh yeah, you're going there, or this situation is like this. Because again, you feel like because again, because I've heard about it, or, someone told me their experience once. But then, it's one thing. And again, it's really hard, I think, to make people sort of change their minds about this unless they actually live it. In this case, it's good because she mentioned that either she has also changed, there's other people's opinions, because, again, my experience was different. And maybe, I explained to you, oh no, this and this and that. But I think most of the times, and it's great, again, she apparently didn't have that bias. She was, no, I have to really check out for myself, which is really, again, the greatest, I think, advice that you can give to someone is just, no, you really do have to live it. And whether that's visiting a country that you think it's in a certain way, or you think, or again, a certain situation that you feel, this is like that. It's not necessarily, again, you really do have to live it. And you have to at least visit. Of course, in this case, when it comes to countries, I think it's just really easy to just sort of let your mind decide. Just because, again, you're bombarded by news all the time. You're constantly 24/7 online, on TV, on whatever media you prefer. There's just so many, news, right? And all those news about, again, in this case specifically about countries, there's always going to be negatives, and it's always, the negatives outweigh the positive news. That's just the way it goes. I think no one really cares to hear, this really positive thing that happened, in this place or in this country, in this city. No, news are just sort of, you kind of relate news with negative things, because that's kind of the way it goes, right? It's not news if someone, did something nice. It's just always news because, you're constantly hearing about the negative things. So because that's what makes the news. So it's really easy, I think, to form, this opinion on certain situations, or in this case, of certain cities or certain countries, of even certain nationalities, just because that's constantly what you're hearing on the news. But that's not necessarily their reality, because again, it's amplified. And like she mentioned, of course, this doesn't really sort of negate everything that has come before, or it doesn't negate that, because you can't paint, also that's the case, you can't really paint one nation, and whether that is one nationality or just one or just one country with one single brushstroke. I mean, you can't just say, in this case, Dutch people are all the same, they are this and this and that, just because you had this specific experience with a Dutch person. It's really not really how it goes. People are, again, every mind's a world in and out of itself. And multiply that by millions, because that's all the citizens that live in certain countries. And that's, again, in certain countries, and that's not even counting experiences that people have, with that nationality in their own countries. Or in other countries, in a third country, whatever. So I think it's really interesting what she said, that she was not, people had this, you think because you're constantly hearing, and I've heard about this country in particular, in this case Poland, and I think things are like this, and Polish people are like that. But just because, again, that's what makes it here. That's what the news are telling me. Or someone once told me that they had a certain experience with a Polish person, and it happened. This happened to them. And whether it can be positive, it can be negative. It doesn't really. Again, it's going to vary, because again, it's really different and depends on each and everyone's experience. And again, that doesn't really negate anything. Maybe you had a really bad experience, in this case in Poland. Well, that doesn't really mean that if I go and I have a wonderful time and I make it, I make myself at home and I live there for 20 years, or, I meet a wonderful, millions of, well, maybe not millions, but you meet hundreds of Polish people and you had wonderful experiences with all of them, and just one person that they had a bad experience, that doesn't really negate their experience. It's not going to be, no, you're lying, right? No, because I had a wonderful time. No, again, that doesn't really, okay, well, that was your experience, this is mine. And I think that's why it's so important to actually take it from the source, and it's not necessarily from, a third person that had an experience like this, or even the news, which I think technically news should be sort of, it shouldn't be subjective, and news should be more objective, and they shouldn't be biased. But that's really a lie. That's not really a thing that happens. I mean, you can be as neutral as possible, but even I think the fact that you're reporting on something specific, that you choose to report, or you choose to inform people about one specific thing, that really makes it, that's really, I think that's where the objectivity sort of disappears actually, because you're choosing to I'm going to choose to highlight this specific thing instead of the other. That's already a bias in and out of itself. So it's really, I think it's really, again, as much as you try to get the more neutral news or the most neutral news possible, that's really it's not really a thing, right? I mean, you can sort of, well, yeah, I try to get my news from neutral sources, but nothing's going to be neutral. So you have to really do take it from the source, as in you actually have to go there and either speak with other people that have experienced this, as in it's not just one experience, but no, as in people that have lived there, either, again, in this case, speak with Polish people, or even, of course, take it to the actual source, as in I am going to Poland and I'm going to see if what I'm hearing on the news is actually true. Because I think, again, when it comes to, it's something really, it really happens a lot, I think, when it comes to countries in general. It's just a lot of biases going around, and a lot of, you think because the news are reporting this, but then you ask people from that country and they're gonna have a completely different opinion. I think, I don't know what you guys are hearing over there, but it's not really like that where you are. Or again, it doesn't, maybe there are some people that had bad experiences with people that shared your same nationality. Does that make it so that everyone's like this? No. I mean, you're going to have negative experiences with everyone in life. It doesn't really matter if they're Dutch, if they're Polish, if they're, Russian, if they're British. It happens, right? It's not going to be, because again, each person is going to be different, and, your own, the situation matters as well. So it's not a thing of, in this case, Polish people are all the same. Or, oh my God, are you crazy? Why are you moving to such a horrible country? Which I think apparently was what she got when she was, when she told her family and her friends, hey, I'm moving to Poland. People were, oh my God, no, are you crazy? But, she actually said, which is really, again, really, really good of her to be, no, I'm not going to just stay with what I'm hearing, what you people think that you have heard, because have you ever been there? Chances are, no, I actually haven't been there. So if you haven't been there, then how can you know that what they're saying is true, right? You really do have to go, and I want to really do check it out and see how it is. And then I'll be the judge of that. Once I've stayed there for, again, a few months, a few years, whatever it is, then you'll actually be the judge and be, what they were saying, what one of these things was true or the other was not true, or whatever it is. But I think that's the case, and it's really an important thing about just sort of leaving your biases behind and try to be as neutral as possible of, I am going to experience this on my own, and I'm going to, it's one of the things about experience, right? You can, people can tell you something and you don't really believe it until you actually live it, because again, sometimes seems unbelievable because, what other people are saying, or what you think because it's something that you've heard your whole life. But then after you go and you kind of, oh my God, I actually experienced it, you kind of realize, what, things weren't exactly how I thought they were, just because I had this image in my mind and this expectation of how things were going to be, and then they turn out to be completely different. Which I think it's really the case for a lot of situations in life, not just how you think a country is going to be. It's, this can be applied to so many things. It's just, again, you have to sort of, take it. That's why I think it's also quite important to sort of leave your expectations at home. And just, again, do not sort of create scenarios in your mind of how things are going to be, simply because you don't really know, right? It's reality. It hasn't happened yet. And I know that we humans, we love to do this, right? We love to imagine scenarios. We love to have this, paint a picture in our brains, in our minds of how things are going to go. But again, you never know until you actually lived it or you actually seen it. So it's really sort of, no, I'm going to wipe my mind clean out of everything that I've been told. And I'm going to sort of I'm going to open this door. I'm going to open this door to this new house that I have no previous knowledge. That's, I think, that probably should be, the ideal way to probably travel and, visit, is to have an open mind, in the sense of, yes, I'm going to forget everything I've ever been told about this country or about this specific, situation, because it's best if you actually experience it. And this is the only way that you're actually going to sort of create an informed opinion. And again, sometimes that's gonna differ from someone that maybe had a really different, because it happens sometimes. Maybe someone also went and they were, yes, I'm going to go, mind, clean slate. I'm going to go open-minded, and then, maybe they had a different experience to what you experienced. And it's fine. But yes, at least you went and you actually lived it, sort of yourself. And you can also, when you're telling people, you can actually be, you know what, I'm not telling you this because, a third party told me. No, it's just, I actually lived it, I experienced it, and you're listening, you're hearing it from the actual source and listening to this, firsthand. But again, it's going to depend. It doesn't really invalidate anyone's opinion. It is what it is. But on the other hand, I just love that she was able to find a country in which she feels so at home. And it's lovely that she wasn't even crying. She wanted to cry. I think it's lovely that she was able to find a country that, even though it wasn't her home country, and I don't think that makes it so that she's going to start burning, Dutch flags. No. She, of course, probably has a lot of love for the Netherlands and or her life, that always, a pretty big, time of her life that was spent there and all of that. That doesn't really make her less Dutch. The fact that she loves Poland and she probably wants to live there for, it's her forever home. She wants to live there permanently or whatever. That doesn't really make it so that she's sort of negating, her Dutch side. It's just, again, I just really feel more like I love the Netherlands, but then, I really feel at home here in Poland, and such a lovely thing, right? Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, she actually went around and found the place that she felt more at home. And yeah, sometimes that doesn't necessarily is the place in which you grew up or in which you live. But what a marvelous thing that we live in the 21st century and people can just move around and be, you know what, I actually like here. I like it here better. I found my place. I feel sort of at home within this country. I feel it feels natural for me to be here, and great for her. Good for her. I love that. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.